Hello, everyone, and good evening to you all. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our very first episode of We Meets Kennedy Live here on Branden Plumley Television. And I know that you guys are seeing Basic Black because I didn't get enough time to finish the template, but that's alright. But it's going to be basic for now, but on later episodes, we will pretty much, revamp the look that I want it to. And so, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first episode of our new show, podcast, if you want to call it that. I am Remits Plum, your host, and of course, we got Christianity, the co host of this show.
Hi, how are you, everybody?
And so, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the very first episode of We Met Kennedy Live, and what we're going to be doing, guys, is we're going to discuss pop culture news and kind of thing, and similar to what Vlog Weekly is all about. But this is all show and give it a unique spin to what we can talk about on the show, from TV, movies, music, video games, sports, you name it. And I want to be perfectly clear to you guys. We will not and never on this show, as long as the show exists on this YouTube channel, that we are not going to talk about politics because it is depressing and neither of us care about what's happening and we just don't care. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go to the next show. But you won't find it here. But if you do like pop culture, then stay right here on the show. So because again, I like to keep things simple and everything. Um, so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk about some things that are happening. As you guys know, we did Take Your Pet Live yesterday, and we made history on that show. Um, because in the
Yeah.
$1 million Journey game, we crowned all, well, spoiler alert if you don't want to be spoiled. So if you don't want to be spoiled, then fast forward. That way you don't have to, or mute, in case you don't want to be spoiled. But anyway, yeah, we crowned our first millionaire on all the new $1 million Journey game, and that belonged to Drew Pierce, aka Sonic Hard, and he conquered 7 stages and getting 4 strikes, obviously, of the game. But it didn't matter because he won the $1 million because I don't remember what number it was that had the win, but that win really did give him the $1 million win.
Yes.
So that's awesome, and it's really cool to give away $1 million on the game, fictional prizes, I should say. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you got to stay tuned for what's going to happen next on episode 119 of Take Your Pet Live. Because, like I said, I wanna do speculate on the whole suspension thing about Luke Jeffers being suspended and whatnot. I want to be clear about this. So I have to give you guys my statement, obviously, because I'm the creator, reviver of Take Your Pet Live. The reason I suspended Luke because he was bad mouthing me on Discord, and it had nothing to do with the game show. Um, it had nothing to do with the game show, and I want to be perfectly clear on that. It did not involve anything that happened on the game show. He followed the rules and everything that he applied to when when we did Take Your Pet Live, and for him to be on, and for him to be a contestant, and for him to be a spectator slash announcer and fellow. He fit the criteria. He did not break any rules. But outside of the whole game show thing, when we got done taping Take Your Pet Live that day, then Luke got really nasty at me about copyrighted material thing on Vimeo, and this has been nonstop ever since. And I applaud Luke for what he's doing on Vimeo. I think he's a creative guy and he needs to continue doing that. But it's just what I'm worried about. especially for him to upload, and to do a reaction of the Apple keynote, because Apple, if they see the WWDC on your channel or anything like that, then yeah, they're gonna take it down, and bid lawsuit's gonna be happening. And I know that Lou doesn't understand all of this because because he doesn't know, um, but because he's supposed to be a smart dude, and he is, but I don't think he knows this whole criteria. But anyway, I was really worried about him. Oh boy. But I was really worried about, him, getting a takedown notice from Apple saying that, hey, we're not going to allow you to have WWDC on your thing because it kind of violates whatever. And I pretty much respect that because when I did the Nintendo Direct E3 uh, last week on a Tuesday, um, I streamed it just this once, and it wasn't available to be replayed because I'm not allowed to save any of it on my channel. So that's why that I said, okay, I'm gonna do this one time stream, and once that happens, if you miss it, then you miss it, and that's it on that. But so I just want to be clear, and I just want to be honest about this thing, because I'm really serious about this thing, copyright. Um, and he got real nasty at me, and then I said, well, okay, then you're going to be suspended for 2 days. So, and then that's why I considered, replacing him with Chris Kennedy for episode 118. And that's really what happened. And then, of course, at the last second, I decided, you know what, screw it. You're going to be off the suspension. But like I said, and now, Luke, I'm going to say this to you from my heart to yours, and I'm going to be real serious about this. And I don't want you to take it personal, take it seriously, because I'm a man of my word. But I'm going to say this: should you badmouth me, either like on Discord or whatnot, I will suspend you until until the remaining episodes, because I want to be fair and honest. Because I had to do it with Billy Moody, I had to do it with a bunch of others, who really crossed the line. And I know that like I said, Chris has done nothing wrong to the show, and he's a great co-host of the show. And I think that it's great to have him as a co-host of Take Pit Live, which you guys can see every Saturday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern Time after We're One Radio, that I do with my friend and DJ. So, but anyway, Luke, I just wanna be serious about this, and I hope you understand. Nothing against it, but I just don't want you to, badmouth me, because I don't like being badmouthed, because that's not what friends are supposed to do, and, you know, you gotta be your friend, not your enemy, shall we say. And that's something that, that I do take seriously when it comes to this. But so it's like I said, I'm serious about this whole thing, and I wanna speak to my heart, speak for the truth, and because that's the guy I am. Because this is why that I do Take You Pit Live every Saturday, to entertain you guys and to have fun with the show. Because like I said, we made history, yesterday, and I'm hoping we can do it again and crown our second $1 million winner in the $1 million Journey game. So that is the bit of an update about this whole suspension kind of thing, weighing around the rosy that I have to clean up and fix. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much everything I gotta say about the whole suspension thing, and hopefully Luke don't get nasty at me again and blah blah blah. Because I know that he's not here to watch this episode because he's celebrating Father's Day with his dad. And by the way, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. This is for you, obviously. So, but yeah, guys, again, Take Your Pit Live, again, every Saturday at 5 p.m. with me as your host and Chris Kennedy, the co-host of the show. And we're going to continue to re-event the game show, and we're gonna try to revolution how Take Your Pit Live is supposed to be, and we're gonna have fun throughout Take Your Pit Live in the Remix Kennedy era. So I think that's all I have to say about the suspension thing. So I want to get that off my chest before we get on with the first show of Remix Kennedy Live for tonight. Um, so there you go, Chris. That's what I have to say for the suspension thing.
Okay, very good.
So just wanted to be clear on that. And like I said, and that's why on every program info at the ending credits you see the rules and everything. As I see fit, and I'll probably will change. I'll probably will change it and update it a bit to letting you know that rules are rules, and that way you follow them and all that stuff. So you see it on every ending of Take Your Pit Live at the program info and a bunch of text about this and this and that sort of thing. So wanted to be clear on that, and now let's see what we can go over first in the first episode of the show. Let's see. Former Epic production director would have canceled Fortnite. Yeah, so had he stayed on Epic, yeah, he probably would cancel Fortnite. Because if Epic did do that, then that would upset a lot of Fortnite players. Because why would you cancel Fortnite even though it's the highly successful game, the battle royale kind of thing, but who knows. Um, yeah, and I think what we're gonna do on this show, do kind of do a movie review if you want to call it that. Do a movie review on this show and on Vault Weekly, which is on Fridays. So I'm probably considering about adding movie reviews to We Met Kennedy Live. Because I'm a movie guy and I want to review movies and whatnot. So I think what I'm gonna do for a movie review, probably not on this episode, but probably on the next episode. I think I'll do a movie review that I know that Luke ain't gonna be happy about me doing, but hey, it's all show obviously. I'm gonna probably do a review of Pokemon Detective Pikachu, because I've seen it twice already. And I gotta tell you guys, it is fantastic. It's a great movie. Um, and so I'll be doing a review of that. I know that you, Luke, you're not going to be happy about that, but I'm going to be doing the movie review of Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Because again, I've seen it twice. Yeah, Chris, if you have any topics you want to go over, feel free to do so.
Sure.
As I am looking on Blu-ray.com and see anything interesting. Okay, so Blu-ray sales. Dragon flies away with #1. Yeah, Universal Studios Home Entertainment's How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World remain at #1 on the Blu-ray only media chart. The film was a modest hit following its North American release last February, gained a very solid critical comments, and grossed $160 million domestically on top of its estimated $129 million production budget. So yeah, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden Word is the last movie in the Dragon franchise. And I gotta tell you, the third one is amazing. It looks awesome. If you haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden Word, yeah, do me a favor and the watch it because it's amazing. And I gotta tell you, for me as a How to Train Your Dragon fan, yeah, I mean the first one was awesome. I love the first one. That was done in 2010, where it all began. By Paramount, and then 2014 or 2015, How to Train Your Dragon 2 by 20th Century Fox, which is probably the best movie, the best sequel. And now 2019 with How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden Word, Universal, which sadly it's the last of the trilogy, but it's also the best dragon movie yet. And I love How to Train Your Dragon. It's awesome. Um, so let me see here. Not really a lot of news to kick off the debut episode, because I talked a lot about it on my show on Saturday, Daniel Remits Plum. Um, so I talked a lot of that on the episode. I talked about E3 2019. I think we'll go over E3 2019 on this episode. I mean, why not? Because I watched E3, and it was good. I even said on the show that I nitpicked about Sony not being at E3 this year, and I'm a little bit bummed about Sony not being at E3. Um, because I want a new Ape Escape game. I want an Ape Escape collection. Bring out 1, 2, and 3, and make it as a remastered edition, and give us all 3 of these games on the next gen PlayStation 4. Um, I don't know if they're gonna do it or not, because the game turns 20 this year. It's already 20, and it's my favorite game on the PlayStation. Um, especially the mini games. The mini games were fun. You have that skiing one, you have the boxing one, and my personal favorite, Galaxy Monkey. That is a fun game. That's a fun mini game. Um, but anyway, Chris, you wanna go over and talk about E3 2019?
Yeah, I loved all the games. I loved the competition.
Hmm.
Loved how they played Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Splatoon.
Splatoon 2.
I remember those two teams, three teams, I should say. There was I forget what they were named actually.
Yeah, me too. But I do know who won. Um, Now I'm actually drawing a blank, because I've watched it. Did the entire stream, 6 hour plus stream that I did, and I can't think of who won that, but yeah, that was really fun. I think the one I liked was the Super Mario Maker 2 one. That was intense. Uh, and
Yeah.
Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2, lots of players, who are big Splatoon players. They really know how to play the game. I'm not really a pro at Splatoon 2, but I love Splatoon 2 because
Mm.
it's a great IP from Nintendo, and having Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl, yeah, it's totally fun and addictive. Because I had the original Splatoon, and I don't have it anymore, but Splatoon 2 is great. Uh, I think what I'm going to talk about on this show tonight, speaking of Splatoon, I actually want Splatoon to be a cartoon. If Nintendo can somehow do a cartoon of Splatoon, I would be happy with it. Have a cartoon of Splatoon. That would be great.
Yes, that would be nice.
Because if you look at other cartoons, in the past, like Super Mario Brothers Super Show, do the Mario, and uh, yeah, that do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Yeah, I love it.
Swing your
Um,
arms from side to side.
Played by Captain Lou Albano, who played Mario, and
I think he was from.
I think that other guy, I want to say Danny Wells or something.
Yeah, he was
Uh,
from Small Wonder.
but yeah, he played Luigi. Um, and sadly, ladies and gentlemen, both of them are deceased. Lou
What?
Albano and that Wells guy. That was the same time that happened when I found out when I woke up and I was taking a nap. and I found out that Paul Walker had passed away of a car accident on that Porsche vehicle that went in flames. And I think speed was the factor of the deadly crash. And then I remembered the next day, yeah, the guy from Luigi on Super Mario Bros. Super Show passed away. So yeah, but those two, they're great playing Mario and Luigi together. And if you guys know Captain Lou Albano, he was a manager for WWF at the time. Um, and he's especially well known for Cyndi Lauper music video like "Girls Just Want to Have Fun," and I believe the Goonies Are Good Enough from the movie The Goonies from 1985. Probably a classic. If you guys haven't even heard of The Goonies, well, yeah, it's The Goonies, obviously. And yeah, so Super Mario Bros. Super Show. And on Friday, they show a cartoon called The Legend of Zelda on Friday instead of Mario. Um, and that one tagline, I know I'm gonna say this, but I think it's probably the most annoying thing that I've ever heard. The annoying catchphrase, you know, and Link's like, "Excuse me, princess." Yeah, yeah, I'm telling you. How did the guy that played Link say that? Well, we may never know, but yeah. So that's the Link one. But yeah, so pretty much Nintendo had cartoons at the time. Um, like Captain N and some other ones. But the ones I remember were Super Mario Bros. Super Show, The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, and Super Mario World made into a cartoon. Um, Super Mario Bros. 3, I had that on VHS. Don't have it anymore. Um, but I do remember it. Super Mario World as well, with Yoshi in it, which I think was awesome. So that's the whole Nintendo side. But on the Sega side, Sega had three cartoons, and it's the blue blur. Um, so we're talking the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which I remember watching. Sonic the Hedgehog that I don't remember watching, but I think I like that one better than the Adventures, and the one I just watched recently, Sonic Underground. That came out, I think, in '98 or '99, when Sega was prepping for the Sega Dreamcast, which was going to be out on 9/9/99, that magical date, September 9th, 1999. Um, but unlike the two, Sonic Underground did not do as well as the other two. I don't know why. It's probably because of bland. I don't know what's bland about it. I mean, I thought it was good. Having Sonic, Sonia, and Manic. You know, Manic is green, Sonia is the purple pink one, and Sonic, he's the classic blue that you know and love. So of course they're in a rock band. Um, yeah, so Sonic Underground. I think Sega has done more cartoons than what Nintendo did. Because after Sonic Underground, we got Sonic X, Gotta Go Fast. That's where Amy Rose made her appearance. Shadow and all of them. And now you got Sonic Boom, which unfortunately they're not showing it anymore, which kind of stinks. But yeah, so Sega had about 5 cartoons, than Nintendo with at least 3, maybe 4. Who knows? Um, but speaking of which, I think we'll discuss some fun education shows too that we remember watching. Uh, Especially the one with Widget, the Word Watcher. Um,
Midget, yeah.
which I believe was a spin-off to Captain Planet, or something like that. Uh, the where he says the power is yours. I think that's Captain Planet, but I could be wrong about that. And yes, I do. I used to watch Captain Planet. Yes. Um, which I believe Ted Turner was the guy responsible for Cap. Okay, it was called Captain Planet and the Planeteers. That's the name of it.
Yes.
Anyway, and the dogs are going on a rampage. Very unlikely that on the very first episode of the show, we're gonna have dogs barking on a rampage, and I can't do nothing about it. um. Anyway. So now I know we got sidetracked, but anyway, I think we're going to talk about gaming because that's going to be a big discussion that we're going to be doing on the show. Talk about the history of gaming. Um, talk about our favorite consoles, our favorite games, and our favorite moments and memories, and going down the memory lane of retro gaming because both of us are retro gamers, and I tell you, retro gaming, I think it's here to stay, especially with the new Sega Genesis Mini that's coming out. Having 40 amazing games, though I'm sad that Sonic 3 is not in it, which I'm kind of bummed about. But, yeah, so, like I said, if you grew up on the NES or you grew up on Atari, you grew up on, Sega Master System, then I think this is going to be this is the right place to hear us talk about our favorite moments in video games, especially with retro gaming. Um, because I think what we need to discuss. I think we need to talk about Sega Channel in a future episode of this show. Because not a lot of people knew about what Sega Channel did for Sega Genesis and for everybody who had a Sega Genesis. So is that something we should do, Chris? Talk about Sega Channel?
Yeah, sure.
Because like I said, I used to try out the Sega channel. I never had it personally, but I have tried it out, and I think it was a nice way to play games for one monthly fee. Because today we have Xbox Game Pass, which is awesome, which means you can play Forza Horizon 4. PlayStation Now, so you can play tons of games for the money. And you gotta thank Sega Channel, because Sega Channel was the first to really provide you a all-you-can-play gaming for one monthly price, which means you never had to buy any cartridges. Um, because like I said, Sega Channel was awesome. It came out in 1994. Um, I do remember that Sonic Knuckles was on Sega Channel, and when he was on the Sega Channel, oh boy, I was really happy to play Sonic Knuckles, as I love Sonic Knuckles. That's one of the best games ever made on the Genesis. And in fact, this October, it's going to be the 25th anniversary of Sonic Knuckles, which came out on October 17th, 1994. So and I gotta tell you guys, 25 years later, it's still the best game ever created. It's my favorite Sonic game ever in the Sonic universe. I know you guys are going to agree Sonic 2 is the best. And yes, Sonic 2 is amazing. It's fantastic. I think Sonic 2 is a masterpiece. I mean, yeah. Uh, but yeah, I played a lot of Sonic 3 and Sonic Knuckles. I played more of that than I did with 2, but I like the second one as well. Second one is awesome. But I played a lot of Sonic 3 and Sonic Knuckles. Those were the games I remember playing. Those games are in my heart because it had the best soundtrack. It had amazing graphics for its time. The characters were great, and like I said, Sonic 3 raised the ball of the gameplay. So did Sonic Knuckles. They both had incredible graphics, and the thing I love about Sonic games is its music. I can't stop listening to the music, whether if it's the Labyrinth level in Sonic 1, even though I hate that level with a passion, or the Arctic Ruin Zone, which is one of the best water theme songs ever in a video game. Um, uh, Sonic 3. A lot of people would like the Hydrocity zone Act 2 more than Act 1. So a lot of people would like Hydrocity Zone Act 2 more than Act 1. Um, I think the one I like is Ice Cap. Ice Cap's pretty good. Has good music in it.
Yeah.
Um, even Hydrocity. And how about Angel Island? I mean, Angel Island is the one that a lot of us remember, and I believe that's the home of Knuckles the Echidna. I think that's his home. In that, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's his home. Um, because he is a rival to Sonic, and because he knew, well, he probably doesn't know that Sonic is gonna end up taking the emeralds and not giving Knuckles what he wants, because he thinks that Sonic is gonna not play nice with him, and he's gonna betray him, and that sort of thing, and in actuality, Knuckles isn't the guy that wants to target Sonic. You shouldn't be targeting Sonic. You should be targeting on Dr. Robotnik, the evil mad scientist who wants the Chaos Emeralds for some reason, and then you want to go after Sonic because he thinks that he's working with Robotnik and all, and that's not really the case. And I don't buy that. I don't buy that baloney. But um, yeah, I don't buy that. Um, Yeah, so I think we're gonna talk everything about that in our video game historian, the video game. Well, I don't think we can call the historian because I don't want to get in trouble by Norman, but I think we're gonna do a video game discussion, or the video game corner, where me and Chris will go over, talk about the topics
Right.
that we want to go over, like me for Sega Channel, and Chris with probably the Atari stuff. Atari 2600 and 5200, 7800, all that stuff. So we'll do that on a future episode, and we'll do it because we're both retro gamers, and we'll be able to do that. So be on the lookout, everybody. Video game corner will be coming your way here on this show, and only on this show. So we're gonna be talking a lot of stuff about video games. Um, All right, so now I am gonna go over to E3 2019. Just like I said, guys, this is not gonna be a long stream. So because I'm gonna uh, be busy doing some things tonight. And by the way, let me know if you guys like the intro and the outro of this show, as well as the new logo. Let me know what you guys think, because this was a lot of hard work making it happen with PowerPoint. So I think I accomplished the logo for We Mix Candy Live, but I think I accomplished it. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, E3 2019 was the 25th Electronic Entertainment Expo that happened last week. Sadly, folks, E3 is officially over this year, but hey, we're looking forward to E3 2020, and hopefully Sony can come back, because I'm a little bit upset with Sony because I talked about this on Hanging Remix Plum. Where's Ape Escape? Where's Toomba? Where's Twisted Metal? Where's those games that I remember playing on PlayStation? Bring us the collection if you have to. I want Ape Escape more than ever, because Ape Escape, I'm not playing. I want Ape Escape, Sony. Now, come on now. Anyway, no new hardware was revealed for Microsoft. Announced it was starting work on the next generation Xbox, where Sony has discussed its own preparatory work for the next PlayStation consoles, both of which are going to arrive at 2020. Most announcement at E3 will focus on new games, many set to be released from late 2019 through early 2020. A strong emphasis made on subscription services like Xbox Game Pass. Huge thumbs up if you have an Xbox One. Totally get that. Uplay Plus from Ubisoft. And the streaming service such as Google Stadia. So yeah, online gaming is probably going to dominate as much as streaming music like Spotify and Apple Music, because I talked about that too. So like I said, streaming music online, Yeah, it's here to stay. Online gaming, it's coming. Um, and you know what, guys, I'm happy with that. Being able to play Forza Horizon 4 on Xbox Game Pass for $10 a month, it's like, yes, this is what I want. Meaning I don't have to buy the game. I can just buy Xbox Game Pass, download Forza Horizon 4, play the new DLC that came out, and I'm very happy about it because I love Legos. Um, and play it on an Xbox One controller and sit back and enjoy and have fun and whamming calls, going off the course, speeding way out of bounds, and hopefully you don't land on the water and drown. And because I feel sorry for you guys if you fell in the water and you drown. I'm so sorry. Don't come to me because I'm not responsible for your own accidents in Forza Horizon 4. I claim no responsibility, and neither is Chris Kennedy. So we both take no responsibility
It's
for
not
for
accident park.
for you guys to flip your vehicle and drown
No,
yourselves in that racing game.
it's not accident park.
Yeah. But anyway. Um. Okay. So. Let me see here about the press conferences. So we're gonna go one by one. Oh, what stole the show? Keanu Reeves was at Microsoft E3 2019. If you guys don't know who he is, well, come on, he was in a lot of movies. I remember him from Speed. I remember him in Point Break, with Gary Busey. Um, Okay, snap my fingers. I think that's all I think I know about. And now he's best known for being in movies, Bill and Ted movies, Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure, and Bill and Ted Bogus Journey. I think that's what it's called. Um, and if you and yeah, so Keanu Reeves, he talked about Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, and by the way, he's going to be in a new movie that's coming out this Friday, and we're going to talk about that on this episode. Now the dogs are barking again. Oh my god. It's like a feeding frenzy going on. So ignore it, everybody, if you can hear the noise. I can't tell them to shut up because if I do, it's going to take me 30 minutes just to shut them up. But anyway, I can't do nothing about it. Yeah, so he's going to be playing a new character in Toy Story 4, and I am very excited for Toy Story 4. I love Toy Story. Um, I know you do, Chris. I know you like Toy Story.
Yeah, it's good.
And I gotta tell you too, guys. I either agree or disagree with me. I think Bo Peep is hot and sexy in Toy Story 4
Yeah.
because like I said, she looks good in the movie, and she's played by none other than Annie Potts, who played the character. And Luke wanted to let me know too that she did not appear in the third one. She made cameo appearance, but she did not. But she was not in the third Toy Story movie. So she was in 1, 2, and 4. I cannot wait to see the fourth one. Sadly, I think it's probably going to be the last Toy Story movie from Pixar, which is kind of shame. Um, but yeah, so yeah, Bo Peep is hot and sexy, and you know it. Yes. All right. Anyway, yeah. So Keanu Reeves made his appearance of Cyberpunk 2077. It was one of the most discussed events. So Microsoft had its press conference at the Microsoft Theater on June 9th, which I watched. Um, they demonstrated the games inside Xbox on the 10th, which I have not watched. So the games they announced are The Outer Worlds, Bleeding Edge, Ori and the Will of the Wisp. And I gotta tell you guys, that new Ori game, it will melt your heart. If you have not played an Ori game, my God, you're in for an emotional ride, but in a good way. Probably the best music you ever hear from that game. The storyline is incredible. The characters are heartwarming and so energetic, and the heartwarming characters. And I tell you, it will melt your heart when you see Ori gameplay, because it did for me when I saw the trailer. No lie, I loved it. It was breathtaking. It was just amazing. Um, the one I'm very excited about is Minecraft Dungeons. That's the one I'm very excited about. Because I'm a huge Minecraft player. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Blair Witch, Cyberpunk 2077, including a brief presentation by Keanu Reeves, Spirit Pharaoh, and the one twist that everybody is not happy about is the new Battletoads game. Because I talked about this on my show yesterday, and not a lot of people are liking Battletoads. They don't like the art direction. They don't like where Microsoft's taking Battletoads. And for everybody who plays Battletoads, I salute you. Trying to beat the Turbotoner, well, good luck, because you're gonna need it. And like I said, if you want to send me an email or let me and Chris know if you beat the Turbotoner, we want to hear from you if you beat the Turbotoner. Because that's one of the hardest things, the hardest level you can ever get into the game. If you're playing the NES version, the Sega Genesis version, probably the Super Nintendo version, and even the Game Boy version. And if you beat the Turbotoner, I would like to see a videotape from that. Because that game, I do like the game, but that third level keeps me away from enjoying the game because the game is brutally difficult. Probably the most toughest NES game ever created. I don't know what they're going to do with the difficulty on Battletoads, as Battletoads is known for its legendary difficulty. Which I've seen a lot of players form their controllers, NES controllers, Sega Genesis controllers, and I think that they're gonna throw at least 5,000 Xbox One controllers, slam it on the wall, and then they accidentally break it, and they do it on purpose because the game defeats you instead of you defeating the game. So yeah, watch out. So for people who play Battletoads, do me a favor, don't throw the controller because that's a lot of money, especially on an Xbox One controller, which costs $60. So don't flush down the toilet of an Xbox One controller for $59 and flush it down the toilet. All right, especially you got kids. If you got kids, yeah, I mean, come on. So be careful. Don't throw any controllers, and don't stomp and yell and cry and Well, you probably could do that, but I wouldn't throw a controller away and smack. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Don't do that. Anyway. Legend of Light. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Welcome back, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Age of Empires 2, Destiny. What am I talking about? Definitive Collection. Wasteland 3. Psychonauts 2, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which I'm very excited because I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. That I talked about on episode 91 of Hanging with Mitch Plum. 12 Minutes, Way to the Woods, Gears 5, Dying Light 2, Forza Horizon 4, Lego Speed Champions. Yes, I like the DLC. I like the Hot Wheels one better, but the Lego one, it's awesome. State of Decay 2, Hotland, Phantasy Star Online 2, Welcome Back Phantasy Star, Crossfire X, Tales of Arise, the one I'm excited about, Borderlands 3, love Borderlands, a great first-person shooter with the RPG elements, love it. And Elden Ring. And they also announced the acquisition of Double Fine Productions, which they are making Psychonauts 2. Now, I have a feeling that Psychonauts 2 is only going to be on Xbox. No, it's going to be on PlayStation 4 and Xbox. So this is so it's not exclusive to Xbox One. It's on Xbox One, it's on PlayStation 4, it's on Windows. So I know Chris would be happy about that because it's on Windows, Linux, and it's going to be on the operating system that I'm using right now, Mac OS. It'll be available on Mac OS. And that's good because Macs can be great for gaming too, and you just don't know about it. So there you go, Psychonauts 2. Everybody's very excited for Psychonauts 2. I know I'm speaking too loud on this microphone, but anyway, yeah, so I'm very excited for Psychonauts 2. I've not played the first one. sadly. But I've heard good things about that game. I'm gonna turn down my mic gain just a bit. Speaking of which, I gotta check my my mic level. That way I don't blast anybody's eardrums out. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, "Hey, Matt Plummer, you please lower the volume." Um. Okay. Well. All right. Well, it's not bad. Okay. Yeah. I just gotta lower the volume. Just making sure that everything's working correctly. All right. All right. Next up, and I lost my place. Uh, Service and hardware announcements by Microsoft included the Windows 10 version of the Xbox Game Pass subscription service, which will be included in a larger Pass Ultimate service bundled with the console version with the Xbox Live Gold subscription, that is Project X Cloud gaming cloud gaming platform that will receive a public beta in late 2019. They also announced the updated version of the Elite controller with a rechargeable battery. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am not a huge fan of controllers that you have to buy batteries, buying AA batteries. I prefer rechargeable lithium ion. I'm just saying. That way, I don't have to waste money on batteries. I know you feel the same way, Chris. Replacing batteries being a chore. Uh,
Yeah.
Especially with a keyboard and mouse and Xbox One controller. You have to, when the battery dies out, then you have to buy a new set of batteries. And who wants to spend money on batteries and then have
I
to
know.
keep it's like feed the money to the alligators. That's all you're doing. You're just feeding money to the alligators until you have no more money, and then the alligators gonna end up pooping all that money out. Yeah, there you go. Um. So anyway, I did not watch Bethesda softworks, and Bethesda. They kind of scratched my head a little bit. They did talk about Fallout 76, the new battle royale. Why not? And you know what? They were really upset with Commander Keen. Now I don't know if you guys remember Commander Keen. It was on DOS back in the '90s. Commander Keen. And now it's going to be on mobile, and Bethesda has ruined the childhood of everybody loving Commander Keen on DOS. I have not played Commander Keen, but I'll probably play that at some point. Elder Scrolls Legends, Wage 2, they talked about Wolfenstein, Cyberpilot, Wolfenstein, Youngblood, Deathloop, and Doom Eternal, which I know Jerome is very excited for Doom Eternal. They also revealed the Orion software, a middleware package that's aimed to help improve the speed and latency for playing games over a stream. We don't care about Devolver Digital. PC gaming. I'm not really into PC gaming, so I'm gonna skip that. Ubisoft. They announced. They talked about Watch Dogs Legion, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, Brawlhalla, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, Just Dance 2020. I know Luke is excited about that. For Honor, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Quarantine, The Division 2, World Champions, and Gods and Monsters. They have not talked about that one game. What's that? I forgot what it's called. It came out in 2000s by Ubisoft. I want to say Beyond something. I don't remember. Um. Oh, Beyond Good and Evil. I think that's the name of it. Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil. Um. So if you guys don't know what World Championship is or whatnot, if you guys do you guys remember roller derby? Yeah, that was a sport back then. I know you remember, Chris. Roller derby.
Yeah, back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yep,
Yeah.
and what it was is you on roller skates, and I would say it's probably the most brutal sport behind pro wrestling, because I don't know, because I have heard that some roller competitors get really repetitive and nasty and wanna push and shove you off the arena, and they can get real feisty. Now I don't know if there's penalties and whatnot in the sport. I don't know, but from what I can tell, in a roller derby, you can probably probably can't body slam, but you can probably push and shove and knock them against the wall, or push and shove them and put them in the ground, eat concrete or whatever. I'm glad that they don't get themselves badly injured. Now, again, I don't know from my experience, but I know they do get injured if they get real feisty and punch somebody in the face like that. But yeah, roller derby, yeah, it's a sport you do not want to mess with, because, like I said, you have to have knee pads so you don't crush your knees in the concrete or whatever the arena is. So you don't want to crush your knees, because if you do, oh boy, that's gonna be painful. Oh my god, that's gonna be painful. Especially you gotta have a helmet, so if you do fall down, you don't crack your skull or your brain, which is not good. You don't want to have a cracked brain and skull, because that's not fun. That is not fun. Yeah, Wolo Champions. So that's the name of the game, Wolo Champions. Okay. So yeah, it's a roller derby game. Welcome back, roller derby games. Because I've watched somebody speed run a game called Roller Games for the NES by Konami, and it looks it's fun to play, but it's kind of toughy, because it is a Konami game. Um, but yeah, and like I said, the speed running. I'm telling you, speed running is awesome. I like to watch people speed run on Twitch, especially speed running Legend of Zelda, or Super Mario Brothers, the original one. I like to watch people do speed run. Am I a speed runner? No, I'm not. Am I gonna attempt to? I might try, but if I don't like it, then I'm gonna just give up, and I'll let the professionals do the speed running, because I'm not really a professional at speed running. No way. There's no way I'm going to be a speed runner. I'm going to try, but if I can't do it, then I'm going to pass. Just no way for me to do it. Um, so anyway, Ubisoft announced Uplay Pass. Oh wait, slow down. Uplay Plus subscription. Sorry, I'm going too fast here. Uplay Plus subscription service to its catalog of games for PC users and later on Google Stadia, starting September 2019. In addition to games, Ubisoft announced that there will be Assassin's Creed Symphony Tour in 2019, featuring music from Rob McEnany, whatever. Announced he would be producing and starring a series by Ubisoft called Mythic Quest for Apple TV Plus. Square Enix stream its broadcast on June 10th. The slot has been previously occupied by Sony, and it's used for its press conference. So the games they talk about by Square Enix, which you guys know I do like Final Fantasy. I love the video game soundtrack. Oh my god, the soundtrack to Final Fantasy, it's amazing. Uh, and in fact, you can listen to all Final Fantasy music on Spotify and Apple Music. I highly recommend, if you are going to listen to Final Fantasy music, listen to Final Fantasy 9. You're going to like the music in 9. Because I like the music in 9. 8 is good with the music. 10 is fantastic. 10 is a masterpiece when it comes to the soundtrack. The soundtrack to that game is brilliant. If you have not heard of Final Fantasy soundtrack, do me a favor and listen to it, because Nobuo Matsu, he is the god of Final Fantasy music. Because I love listening to video game music. I'm telling you, I like the 8-bit stuff, and when I'm not listening to 8-bit stuff, I like to listen to RPG music, because it's awesome. Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, you name it. Um, So anyway, okay. So the feature games that were included on the press, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I did watch, looks really cool. Life is Strange 2, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, the remastered one, which I have not played on the GameCube. I've heard it was good. It was kind of like Zelda almost. Um, Octopath Traveler, The Last Remnant remastered, Dragon Quest Builders 2, Dragon Quest 11, Circuit Superstars, which is a racing game, Kingdom Hearts 3. Who does not like Kingdom Hearts? Oh my god, I do. Battle on 1944, Final Fantasy 15. Is that 15? Oh no. Final Fantasy 14. Okay, XIV. Okay, it's 14, I think. Yeah, Final Fantasy 14. XIV. Okay, yeah, Final Fantasy 14. It's a woman numerals, guys. Yeah, I know my woman numerals. Okay, XI is 11, obviously. XIV is 14. Um, XV is 15. So yeah, I know. I know my woman numeral. I just kind of screwed up a bit. Um. Anyway, what else did they talk about? Dying Light 2, Romance and Saga 3, Saga, Scarlet Grace, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, War of the Visions, Final Fantasy Brave. Wait, I just talked about that. Outriders, uh, Oninaki, Final Fantasy 8, and the Avengers game. Yeah, and I tell you guys, Final Fantasy soundtrack again. It's on Spotify and it's on Apple Music. In fact, I'm gonna listen to it when I get done streaming this episode of We Met Sandy Live. Because listening to Final Fantasy music when you get done listening to 8-bit, you want to sit back and enjoy the brilliant mastermind of Nobuo Matsu. Yeah, Final Fantasy. If you have not heard of Final Fantasy, uh, we'll probably talk about that on the show too in the near future. But yeah, the Final Fantasy music is incredible. It's not, and like I said, the Final Fantasy music we have today not as good as the original by Umatsu. Nobody, I'm telling you, Umatsu is the god of Final Fantasy. He did write with Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 4, aka 2, for the Super Nintendo, Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 3, Super Nintendo, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12 both have excellent music. 13, I don't know about 13. 13's my least favorite Final Fantasy game. I do not like 13. Um, okay, so Chris, I know you're excited about this, about Nintendo E3. Um, so anyway, Nintendo has held a E3 Nintendo Direct presentation on June 11th, 2019. Not July 11th, but June 11th. Games that they featured was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the DLC. Ooh, excuse me, the DLC. They had the Dragon Quest characters. They're going to be coming as a playable fighter, and I know that you, Chris. I know you were shocked about this. It's the return of Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah.
I mean, Banjo Kazooie, a classic game on the N64. Now he's gonna be now they're gonna be a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yeah, Banjo Kazooie. You can play that on where we play on Xbox One because Banjo Kazooie is part of Xbox now. Used to be Nintendo, but uh, now it's Xbox, Microsoft. Yeah, I'm very happy to see Banjo Kazooie back. I think I should play Banjo Kazooie because I've heard good things about the game. Um, but I would say this too. I know that you, Chris. I know. I think the one character that we want to see back, and I don't think we're ever gonna see him back, is the guy named Mike Jones from Star Tropics.
Wow.
Because yeah, Nintendo did two Star Tropics games on the NES. The first one in 1990, and the second one in 1994. Uh, and Star Tropics were made only here in North America. It was not released in Japan. It was only made in North America, both one and two, and it was created by Daniel Takeda, who did the game that you like, Chris, Punch Out.
Yes, cool.
So Daniel Takeda, the man responsible for a lot of things, Punch Out, Star Tropics, uh, hardware kind of guy, making hardware and whatnot. Put in charge of the hardware development. Who is now retired. But yeah, thank you, Daniel Takeda, for amazing years bringing us Punch Out, Star Tropics, and the guy that gives us the GameCube, the Wii, and all that great stuff. Daniel Takeda. Um, but yeah, I mean, there you go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have cracked the 1 hour mark on We Met Stanley Live, so let's go through these one by one here. Dragon Quest 11, Luigi's Mansion 3. I think Luigi's Mansion got the inspiration of a 1984 movie called Ghostbusters. Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray. Yep, and who you gonna call? Yeah, Ghostbusters. Yeah, why not? And I like that song too, the Ghostbusters song by Ray Parker Jr. Pretty good song.
Parker Jr.
Yep. Now this is the one that shocked me when I did the Nintendo E3 Direct live stream on my We Met Plum Television. Uh, the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics. Now I don't know if I'm gonna play this game because I don't like strategy RPG games. The tactic kind of game. But I'm shocked that the Dark Crystal is coming back as a video game, or because, like I said, I don't think the Dark Crystal has gotten a video game, at least to my knowledge, because the Dark Crystal that we had was a movie, which I liked. I really loved the Dark Crystal from 1982. A good Jim Henson movie. I know it's not the best movie, but I like it. I like the story. I like the characters. Jen, the main character, and Kara. Yeah, though I'm telling you, the main characters of the movie, I like it. I like the characters, especially Jen, who is the main protagonist of the film. He's a elfin elf or whatever the species is.
Yeah.
I love the Dark Crystal, and I am so excited for the new Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. My mother does not like the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. She does not like this whole fantasy kind of thing, but I do. I liked it because I like the Dark Crystal so much, and I cannot wait to see Age of Resistance. I'm gonna continue to pay my Netflix subscription so I can see the new Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. Oh my God, I really want to see it. It's coming out on the 30th of August on Netflix. And I'll be watching the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. So they had the game of that. They talk about the game that is probably the best game on the Nintendo Game Boy. It came out in 92, 93. The game is called The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
Wow.
And I have heard that game is a lot of fun, especially when you got Link bouncing, jumping and stomping on Goombas. I think that's awesome. Having because like I said, the Legend of Zelda, despite having the name, it does not have Zelda. It doesn't have um what's that character name? That evil guy that takes Triforce. Oh, Ganon. That's his name. Ganon. He's not in it.
Mm-hmm.
Zelda. She's not in it. Uh, and shockingly, the Triforce is not even in it. So it's kind of like a unique spin of a Zelda kind of game, where you got Link. Like I said, I played it a little bit, and I've seen videos of it, and it looks fun from what I can tell. Especially Link bouncing around and stomping on Goombas, which you know that Mario, he's the one that stomps Goombas and Koopa Troopas, but Link, yeah, he jumps on uh, Goombas in the game, which is quite fascinating, and I think that's creativity and over. I would say it's creativity, but fun as well. If you don't have any of that, then yeah, then the game won't do well. But creativity and fun, that's what the game offers. I can't wait to play the remake one. It looks good. I can't wait to play it. Trials of Mana, which is a new game coming out. I believe it was Secret of Mana 3. Uh, yeah, okay. I think I played this game. Yeah, I played it. Okay. Cause this game only came out in Japan in 1995, published and developed by Square for the Super Famicom. Yeah, so it was only on the Super Famicom, never released here in the United States. And I think what we'll also talk about, Chris, is on our next episode or future episode. I think we need to discuss games that were so cool but never brought to North America. I think we need to discuss that because Sunsoft. I can give you a great example. Sunsoft with Euphoria the Saga, which was a Metroidvania kind of like game. It was a cool game, but the problem was it never came to North America. Uh, even Mister even Mr. Gimmick. Again, Mr. Gimmick by Sunsoft. It's a fun and difficult game, but that was never brought over to North America. So a lot of your fun games that came to Europe never saw the light of day in North America. So again, Sunsoft, Konami was one of them too, like Crackout and Paradis. Because I like Konami, I like Life Force, and I like Gradius. Um, I like Life Force. Life Force is pretty cool. But so you got Konami and you got Sunsoft, well-known companies. Sunsoft known for making Blaster Master, Batman, Gremlins 2, Journey to Silius. Uh, we'll talk about that on a future episode. That'd be a great topic to go over. Talk about these games being in Europe, in the PAL territory, and never come to North America, like Euphoria and Mr. Gimmick, both by Sunsoft. And I like Sunsoft. They have the best music you ever hear in an 8-bit chip tune. Uh, and Blaster Master has easily one of the best soundtracks you ever find in an NES game, and Journey to Silius. Um, so Tribes of Mana, which was Secret of Mana 3. What else did they announce? Collection of Mana, which has Secret of Mana and Final Fantasy Adventure, which was Mana for the Game Boy, which I like. I remember playing that one. Anyway, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Complete Edition. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I almost said 3 horses. Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, No More Heroes 3, Contra Rogue Corps. Welcome back, Contra. Contra Anniversary Collection, which I've heard Contra is a really difficult game. I want to play the first Contra. Not sure if I want to play Super Siege, because I'll get my butt kicked. Want to try out Contra 3. That sounds cool. And Contra Hard Corps is going to be on the collection. You know what's funny, Chris? When I saw the Castlevania collection for the Nintendo Switch, they had a game by Konami that never came to North America, but it's on the Game Boy. It's called Kid something Dracula Kid or Kid Dracula, which is a Castlevania-ish kind of game. Kid Dracula. I mean, that was another game that. Oh, you know what? I also forgot. Um, uh, what's that game? Samurai Pizza Cats. How come we didn't get that game, Tecmo, from for North America? why on earth did we not get Samurai Pizza Cats based on a TV show from the '90s by Saban Entertainment? So I'm telling you, I think it would be a great game for the NES here in North America, but we never got Samurai Pizza Cats on the NES. What gives, Tecmo? I know. It stinks. Um. Okay. Damien X Machina, Panzer Dragoon, Pokemon Sword and Shield. At least for 18s, and I love that. Astral Chain, Empire of Sin, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, Cadence of Hyrule, really cool game. I want to try that out. Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. And you know who's not going to be in this new game? Blaze the Cat. And I'm upset about it. Animal Crossing, New Horizons. So all you, like I said, I like Animal Crossing. I think it was a great game on the Nintendo GameCube. And the sequel to Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Um, so there you go. And again, I have not seen EA or Bungie. Although I am happy that Destiny 2 is coming to Google Stadia, so I'm happy about that. Um, EA. Oh, and you know what else I'm complaining, guys? Where's Need for Speed? Because I've heard Need for Speed coming back. Where's the franchise that I know and love? Where's Need for Speed, EA? Because
Yeah.
I love arcade racers. You guys know I love arcade racing games like Need for Speed, Rush, especially Rush 2049 San Francisco, that racing game that I love so much back on the N64. Yeah, Rush 2049, amazing arcade racing game. Arcade racing games are great. You know, the fun arcade racers. Again, like Need for Speed. Because I believe Need for Speed is not a simulation racing game, unlike Gran Turismo and Forza and all of them. Need for Speed is a arcade racing, and I like arcade racing because because it's not really a simulator, and yeah, I gotta tell you guys, the best Need for Speed game that I've ever played in my life is definitely Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 on the PlayStation 2. Forget the Xbox version, forget the PC version, and forget the Nintendo GameCube version. The PlayStation 2 version is leaps and bounds the best version of the game that I've ever played. Sorry, Xbox, but PS2 easily a huge thumbs up for me. I love Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. I want to play that game if I had my PS2 with me. Sadly, I don't have my PS2 anymore, which kind of stinks. But hey, yeah. So overall, guys, that's E3 in a nutshell. Yeah. So like you said, Chris, on the beginning of the show, Nintendo had competitions for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Splatoon 2, and Super Mario Maker 2, and I watched all three of them, and they were fantastic from start to finish. Splatoon
No.
2 and Super Smash Bros. Got me the edge of my seat. It was the most intense competition that I
Yeah.
have seen.
Oh my God.
Especially Splatoon 2, because I like to see people play Splatoon 2, because they are the best gamers. I think they are incredible at those games. That's why we have esports for a reason. That's why we have esports like Overwatch, and Rocket League, and I hope we see more of esports. Because esports is pretty huge for the whole gaming industry. Seeing people win cash money prizes, like Overwatch and Rocket League. Um, Watching esports is a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see more of this because I love watching tournaments where people play and win big. I like watching people play games, especially in a
Sure.
tournament. A lot of fun and a lot of creative, and it's just a lot of fun. So
what? I'm gonna let you know something. I'm gonna tell you something, Brandon. You know what I wish, and I'm trying to get this out there. I'm just trying to find the right way to get it out. I'm trying to do like an Atari and a retro video game tournament where we play Atari, Coleco computer games, some Nintendo games.
That would be great. Yeah.
And I want us to get together in person, like you, me, you, Ronald, Luke,
Yeah.
whoever.
Yeah, because like I said, Nintendo World Championship that I remember that they had in 1990. I was too little because I didn't know the Nintendo Championship, but I know that there was one from 1990. They even made a Nintendo cartridge of the Nintendo World Championship where you play three games: Super Mario Brothers, Rad Racer, and Tetris. And I gotta tell you guys, I love all three of these games. I like Super Mario Brothers. I like Rad Racer. Rad Racer is a cool game, but it can get really repetitive, especially when the other people in the call do not want to share the world, and then you end up hitting you either hit them at 255 kilometers. Either you hit them or they're gonna hit you and they're gonna ping pong you and for you to slam into a tree and then your car goes bouncing up and down, wasting valuable seconds. Uh,
That's crazy.
I know, and I like to call it the ping pong effect because that's what happens in racing games. When someone hits you, yeah, you go in this ping pong effect, and not a lot of people like the ping pong effect because, like Rad Racer, if you go way too fast and you hit the car, you'll be bouncing around like a ping pong, and then you're gonna end up getting hit with a tree, or you're gonna hit the car and you're gonna end up flipping out anyway, and then you're gonna lose valuable seconds. And it does happen to me because while I like the game, it's frustrating because you got three other cars who are drunk, trying to take you off the road and for you to crash to a tree, and then you flip over and then you lose 5 or 10 seconds because because you're on a time limit on each race. So you can't. So you really got to be at the edge of your seat and hit the gas and just slow down. If you do see a corner, just slow down. That way you don't end up crashing into a tree or, hitting any object in the game for you to flip your car over. Because again, if you have like 10 seconds, then yeah, you're screwed, and then you have to start at the 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 I know what I'm trying to say, but for level, but the course. So yeah, it's just and like I said, I like Rad Racer. Especially that kid in the 1989 movie,
Wizard,
the
right?
Wizard. Yes, the Wizard, and the guy named Lucas
Right.
says like the power when he's holding the power glove. It's totally rad and something.
I love the power glove. It's totally rad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And using that to steal the vehicle with your power glove, yeah. And your arm would get tired after you play it for so long. Your arm would get tired.
My
Um,
arms are sore.
yeah, I think we'll talk about that too on this show. Talk about what happened to Power Glove, why it kind of flopped for Mattel, because Mattel was the one that made the
Yeah.
the accessory. And
Flash
I
and burn.
and I did
Yeah.
not know that at the time at Mattel, uh, that lady who was the CEO of Mattel, I want to say it's um, she was the one that really brought back Barbie sales because the Barbie sales were not doing really well. Um, Actually, I gotta figure out who she was. Uh, It's is that her name? Yeah, Jill Bawad. Yeah, Jill Bawad was the CEO of Mattel. Yeah, so Jill Bawad, who was the CEO of Mattel, she used to work at Mattel, um, trying to get the Barbie line to be successful. She is 68 years old, and She was the CEO of Mattel from 1997 to 2000, so she was a businesswoman. She's known for working in Mattel.
Yeah.
But sadly though, she had to resign from Mattel because of under pressure from the investors following the disappointment earnings. So, but yeah, Jeroboam, she was the businesswoman that wanted the Power Glove to be a Nintendo accessory, because the data glove that VPL did cost $10,000. So AGE and Mattel had to find a way to make it affordable, and they only had about 6 to 8 months to make this accessory. Which, if they had more time, I think the Power Glove would have been a huge hit. But in reality, 6 to 8 months, and it had to be out in the Christmas holiday season of 1989. Because only two games were made for this thing: Bad Street Brawler, and the game by Whale called Super Glove Ball. Now that was innovative, by Mike Novak. That was really cool. But again, it was a commercial. It was a flop for Mattel, and they only made $88 million in sales of the Power Glove, from what I can tell. If you got and like I said, if you guys want to watch the history of the Power Glove, I recommend you check out the Gaming Historian, because he will give you an inside look of everything you need to know about the Power Glove and why it failed, and why Mattel simply flopped when they did the Power Glove. Even though everybody loves the Power Glove, they use it to do the MIDI controller keyboard thing for making music, or that guy from Robot Chicken uses it. So it's a nostalgia moment of the Power Glove. And again, the 1989 movie The Wizard, it's totally rad, but yet it's so cool for him to hold the Power Glove in his hand.
True.
Uh, and yeah, so what happens in The Wizard? Well, this kid who, and you know what? This was actually the movie that actually got us excited about for the best Mario game ever created by Nintendo, and the one that I absolutely love, my number one favorite Mario game of all time. In the movie itself from 1989, Nintendo gave us a preview, a look of Super Mario Bros. 3.
Mario 3, yes.
And this was on the movie The Wizard. When we had it on VHS or DVD, we remember, hey, you know, I thought Super Mario Bros. Was going to come out in 1989, but in actuality, it came out in 1990. So Nintendo gave us a preview and gave us a first look of Super Mario Bros. 3, which is considered one of the best Mario games ever created. My personal favorite of the whole Mario series. I love going through the desert area in Mario 3. It's so much fun to play in the desert level in Mario 3. It's so
Really
iconic. From the pyramids to the Egyptian-like kind of thing,
pyramid.
and that's why I like the level so much, the desert level, especially that nasty sun that tries to get you, and that one level where you got that angry sun. And I'm glad he's back in Mario 3 because he's a total
Evil
pain.
son.
But yeah, going through the desert level in Mario 3 is like the greatest thing for me, because I love going through the desert level, because the desert level is my favorite in the game. Not a lot of people like Word 7, the pipe land, where you had to go through all the pipes. I know it was bothersome for somebody, but Word 7 had that nostalgic moment for me. Word 7, which is the pipe land.
It was
Uh,
alright.
Word 6, the Iceland, the ice area. Especially that one level where you had to have a Tanuki suit. Um, or the Raccoon Mario Tanuki. You have to hold Troopa Troopa, fly up, and then you have to get rid of the two chompers. You have to get rid of them with the turtle shell, and then you can go into the pipe. That's probably the most frustrating level in the game. I can do it. It's just it took me a good try or two just to get the trooper up there and defeat the two. The one that I don't like in Mario 3, there's actually two of them. One is from World 5 in the sky area, where you have those little buzzer thing, the little enemy with the wings, and you have to jump on them as a platform, and they go up, and it's all in the sky. It's I believe it's level 6 in World 5 of Mario 3. That is my least favorite level because oh my god, it's a pain because it's a side-scrolling level and you got these little enemy one, I think the Beezles or whatever they're called, and then you have to jump on them as a platform, and then they go up slowly off screen. Um, and you can get hit from them if you're not careful. So you can end up dying if you're not careful because there's an open gap, a pit that you have to be careful of. I do not like that level at all. It's a pain. The other level that I really don't like is the one from Word 8, which is the Darkland, uh, where you're on this little thing up in the sky thing, and then the screen scrolls really fast, and you have to keep up with it. I can do it, but it's a real pain, and mistiming your jump can result for you to either fall into your doom, into a pit, or get hit by one of the guys that throw winches at you. So that's a huge pain, obviously. Um, oh my god! So that level, if you like I said, you'll find that out in World 8, which is the dark land. That's where Bowser is in Word 8. But otherwise, it's a masterpiece. Now, I know a lot of people saying the game does not have the save feature. Everybody complains about that, and I complain about it too, because it's a lengthy game. You want to be able to save your progress. And thankfully, you can save your progress when you play the Super Mario All Stars for the Super Nintendo, which I had on the Super Nintendo. I had like 2 or 3 of them of Super Mario All Stars on the SNES. Um,
Yes.
and let's not forget Super Mario World, probably the greatest game ever made on the Super Nintendo. Um, but yeah, Mario 3 and the Wizard. That's pretty much in a nutshell. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if there's any other news we can go over today because, like I said, this is the first episode. So, whatever we don't discuss, we will talk about it on the next episode, which will be coming your way at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Uh, so I'll be letting you guys know. New episodes of the show will premiere every Sunday afternoon tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time here on Branden Plumley Television. Uh, and uh, and also Take Your Pit Live every Saturday at 5 p.m. after We're One Radio with me, your host, we met Plum, Christianity the co-host, and Luke Jeffers the announcer. And yeah, so I think what I'll probably do for a movie review, I'm thinking about reviewing a movie called Pokemon Detective Pikachu because I've seen the movie twice, like I said, and yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. And as soon as Ugly Dolls comes out on video, I will do a review of that, and I'll give you my honest opinion on what I think with the movie.
Yes.
Because I know Ugly Dolls did not do well, uh, and I like Trolls, the movie Trolls from 2016,
Yeah.
and um, so yeah, so I'm really looking forward to watch Ugly Dolls. Um,
Cool.
so let's see. Oh, and okay. So one more thing we want to talk about, and then we'll probably wrap up the show. Toy Story 4 is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and this movie's getting rave reviews. IGN has given it a 9.5 out of 10. That's a huge thumbs up for the movie.
Yes.
9.5 out of 10. That's amazing.
Yes.
So the movies that are opening this week. So I'll go over this real quickly on Rotten Tomatoes. Man in Black International is in the red. Yikes. That's not good. Men in Black International is at 24% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's certified rotten. 35% belongs to Shaft. 80%. Oh, Sigourney Weaver will return in Ghostbusters sequel. Wow, cool. 80% Late Night. 53% The Dead Don't Die. And 41% is Hamstead. Man in Black is in the red with $28.5 million, and that new X-Men Dark Phoenix movie, that's not doing well either. That's not good. That's not how you want to end an X-Men movie. Oh my god. Because I thought X-Men was a great movie. You know, Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and the sexy looking Halle Berry as Storm. Yeah. um. Anyway, the top box office, we got the Secret Life of Pets 2, which is coming in at 46.8 million, is at 57% on Rotten Tomatoes. Dark Phoenix is not doing really well. That is at 32.9% with 23%. Oh, wait, 32.9 million and 23%. Get that right. Aladdin made 24.8 million. That's currently at 57% on Rotten Tomatoes. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 15.6 million, and it's at 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. The movie that's doing really well, and I'm quite shocked, is the movie Rocket Man, based on the autobiography of Elton John. 13.8 million, and it's at 89% certified fresh. And as you guys know of this show, I am a die-hard Elton John fan. I love his music, and he is a icon. He's sold 300 million records, and his albums are doing really well again. And I just found out that his Diamonds album, which I really want so bad because I'm a huge Elton John fan, is doing really well, and it's actually at the top 10 for the 20th time. So I gotta say, congrats to Elton John on
Very good, man.
on the
Good
top
job.
10 album of Diamonds, because he breaks records, ladies and gentlemen. He has the most top 40, uh, which is awesome. Uh, and now the top now he had the 20th top 10 on Diamonds. Really awesome. I want to get the 3 disc collection because I really like to listen to songs like Pinball Wizard, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, probably the best song from McCartney Lennon era. Um,
I love Elton John, you know.
yeah, I'm telling you. Um, Pinball Wizard, obviously, The Who. Um,
Yeah.
and in the '90s when he was on a rehab, he did songs like "Sacrifice" in 1990. He even did one of my favorite albums, "The One," that came out in 1992, and that was when he was at a rehab trying to get sober from his drug addiction and his alcoholism and whatnot. But yeah, so um, and by the way, guys, I also forgot to mention how did I forget this? The Lion King is 25 yesterday. It turned 25 yesterday. One of the greatest movies ever made by Disney, The Lion King, the 1994 animated movie.
Oh,
Uh, and not only it's one of the greatest movies of all time, but the soundtrack is the best. Especially Elton John with "Can You Feel the Love Tonight." Oh my God, one of the best performances, and I'm glad he won an award in 1995 with Tim Weiss. I am so happy that he won the award because that song is the best song you ever hear. Circle of Life, Just Can't Wait to Be King. I like his version because I'm telling you, whatever music he does, my friends, he turns the music that he does touches to gold, and I could not agree more on that because he is an icon. Um, yeah, uh, yeah, The Lion King is one of the best movies. I wanna get me the Lion King book sometime. I want to get the book of the Lion King because that was a nostalgia for me when I read the book. Oh my god, I loved it. Um, It has some iconic scenes, especially, well, we don't want to get into the sad part about the Lion King, about Mufasa and Straw. Um, but yeah, I mean, I cannot wait to see the Lion King 2019. Uh, and you know what? I have a feeling it's gonna be rated PG. Just you watch, my friends. The Lion King's gonna be the first in 25 years to be rated PG by the MPAA.
Hell, the MPAA. I don't like.
Yeah, I know.
So
Uh,
you're.
56%. Moths. 7.8 million. At 7.5. Oh wait, 7.8 million. Excuse me. 7.5 million belongs to John Wick Chapter 3.
Oh, cool.
That was yeah, Keanu Reeves is in it. Um, at 5 million, Avengers Endgame at 94%. Certified fresh. 66% belongs to Pokemon Detective Pikachu, the movie I'm going to be reviewing. Because I watched it twice and I love it. I freaking love it. Uh, and 97% Booksmart, 1.6 million. So the movie that's coming out to theaters, everybody, Toy Story 4 on June 21st. So these are all June 21st. Child's Play, Swinging Safari, Wild Woes, and The Command. Uh, I know Child's Play is kind of like Chucky, and I'm not a fan of horror movies, so I would not be watching Child's Play because it involves Chucky, the doll, murdering a lot of people in that. Yep. Yeah, Child's Play, rated all. Yeah. But I know the movie that everybody's excited about is Toy Story 4, which is now at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that will change. So when we end this stream, ladies and gentlemen, it will not be at 100%. So by the time the stream ends, it probably will drop to 99 or whatever it will drop. But I will tell you this right now: if it stands, it's at 100% right now on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's the highest score that Pixar has ever gotten of a movie. So that's awesome. So Toy Story 4, it's gonna be another masterpiece from them. Um, the one I'm looking forward to is The Lion King, uh, which is coming out on July 19th. And if I have a feeling it's going to be rated PG, um, I don't know. Because if it is PG, well, I don't know what to say about that. Um, it does not say. I don't want to know. um, what else is coming? Um, oh yeah, David Crosby. What is it? David Crosby. Remember my name. Yeah, I remember David Crosby. He sang a song with Phil Collins called Hero. Uh, yeah, and yes, I like Phil Collins too. Especially Other Sides, which is a really good album containing Phil Collins demos and unreleased songs on albums. I really do like the album. The one I like is For a Friend. That's an awesome song for the album. Again, there's a lot of demos. Like Another Day in Paradise was supposed to be Another Day in Paradise. Was originally going to be called Homeless. Lionel was supposed to be the name for Do You Remember, which I like too. And you'll find those songs on Phil's 1989 album, probably the best album he's ever done from 1989, my birth year, but seriously. Which has hits, which has awesome songs such as Another Day in Paradise, Something Happened on the Way to Heaven, Do You Remember, uh, I Wish It Would Rain Down, and one of my personal favorites, Find a Way to My Heart, the 12th and final song, one of my favorites. I'll be listening to that too later.
Oh yes,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, but seriously, if you like I said, if you guys thinking about listening to Phil Collins tonight or whatever, do me a favor and listen. And like I said, all albums are great, but I think the best album you need to listen to besides No Jacket Required, which has "Don't Lose My Number," the song, no, the album, but seriously, the best album from Phil Collins in 1989. And it was the number one album back in 1989. It was a number one album for him, and rightfully so, because it is, in my eyes, the number one album. And it deserves to be the number one back in 89. Why is it number one? Because it has great songs. That's why. Um, so, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all my topics for today. Chris, do you have any thing you want to discuss before we wrap up, or?
I think that's about it.
All right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it on this very first episode of We Met Kennedy Live. Again, we'll be back here Sunday for episode 2 at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. After I get off work at We're One, or yeah. So stay tuned for the next episode of We Met Kennedy Live. I had a lot of fun doing the show tonight. And yeah, it's so much fun. You can follow me on Twitter. I am at We Met Plum. You can follow Chris on Twitter too, at Christianity82. I am on site 123. You find We Met Plum on site 123. You can also find Retro Media Vision that Chris does on Wits. And I'm on site 123. Cartoon Explosion. Check out Cartoon Explosion on Tumblr, on Facebook, and please do take the time to look at our official Discord server, because I do post things on there from time to time. And the only place where you can watch videos that I like to share with all of you is on the VidZone hashtag VidZone in the category. You'll find that on Cartoon Explosion. So you find that. So again, the best experience. Head on over to Cartoon Explosion's Facebook page, not Twitter, Tumblr, and Discord. And again, guys, Take Pit Live will be coming your way every Saturday at 5. So if you can't get enough of the both of us, you'll be seeing us again for Take Pit Live, where we are going to hopefully crown our next $1 million winner in our $1 million journey game, which was a lot of fun. And I think that's what we're going to do on the second episode of We Met Kennedy Live. We want to show everybody the iconic moment, or the best moment of what happened on episode 118 of Take Pit Live, where we crowned our first $1 million winner in a $1 million journey game. So we're going to show that to you all next time on the show. So that was a lot of fun. So Chris, before we wrap up the show, how'd you do with the podcast you did last week?
Last week with my friends from high school, I did pretty well.
All right. So check that out, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't watched it yet. And looks like Release Fan 18 is has a game set up in his new apartment. Oh, really? He now has a Sega Dreamcast? Wow. That's a system I never had, the Sega Dreamcast.
Neither did I. Awesome.
The only Sega console I had was the Sega Genesis.
Me too.
I never had the Master System. But Master System has good games too. Especially that Wonder Boy game that I played. That was really cool. Kind of like Adventure Island, if you will. That's what Wonder Boy was, and we'll talk about that too. Adventure Island versus Wonder Boy. We'll talk about that too. So yeah, that's awesome, Mark, getting a Sega Dreamcast, the last Sega console before they end up quitting the hardware business because the Sega Saturn was a commercial failure and one of the most disastrous. Oh my God, we're gonna talk about that too. So, anyway, Chris, thanks for joining with me for our very first episode.
My pleasure.
And so, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stopping by and watching the very first episode of We Met Stanley Live. So we'll see you guys for episode 2 of We Met Stanley Live. So for Chris Kennedy, this is We Met Plum saying goodbye. Be kind to one another, everybody,
To one another, yes.
and of course those googly eyes will be on Tape It Live because I know you guys like their googly eyes. That's a signature trademark. But yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for watching again for Christianity and everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you for watching. My name is Weemet's Plum. Again, guys, be kind to one another, and have a great Sunday night, everybody. And me and Chris will talk to you. We'll see you guys in the next episode of We Met Christianity Live, right here on Branden Plumley Television. Have a great night.